Anything else you want to say before we start this? You want to get it all out now, or do you want to wait till we start recording?
Anything I got to say till I stayed on the air for the people.
Recon Podcast Ep.9. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I was like, man, what number is this now?
They took that bass straight to the dome.
I know. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero.
Hey, shout out Earth Gang.
Yeah, that was tight, man. I like that.
Top Down, Earth Gang.
Yeah. Is that a new one? Is it old school? I don't know.
They just dropped a project. It's on there.
What's it called?
I don't know the name of the project, but the song is called Top Down.
Okay. All right.
They're in that label that J. Cole has. They're part of J. Cole's team.
Oh, okay. Dreamville?
Yeah.
Okay. Word up. I like it. Zach Lucero's dropping some new music on us. He's probably going to start doing that every year because I'm starting to learn how to use this Rodecaster. And even though I wiped the whole thing clean of all the settings earlier, I told you.
All your past mistakes.
I told you. I was like, you know what? I might have wiped this machine clean, but it turned out to be even better. So we good to go. Recon Podcast, Ep.9, NFL. We got some player interviews. Paul, why don't you tell our people who we got today?
Yeah, so we had tonight, we have in Hayes Rebels running back Xaiver Green, and also after that we're going to be lining up Connally running back, Demetris, Gardner, Holmes after that.
Running back Wednesday.
Yeah. Running back Wednesday. First, though, we're going to talk a little bit of NFL, and my tepid take. I don't have a hot take. I just got a tepid take. Quarterback.
What does tepid mean?
Lukewarm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Continue.
You know what tepid means?
I would prefer you just said lukewarm or room temperature.
Zach. Well, I mean, y'all come with big words. I mean,
I'm following.
You said aloof one time.
Yeah.
What did you say last week? You said you used some big words last week.
I thought aloof was that thing you use in the shower.
You said behoove.
That's true.
You were like behoove me, and then Paul over here aloof. I use tepid, and all of a sudden I get some trash about it. Dang, Zach. But I thought you were
Chris,
smart.
We have a plethora of other things to get to, so let's just move on.
Tepid take, QB injury. Drew Brees out. Ben Roethlisberger
he gone
out
as well.
We talked about Sam Darnold, how he got sick. Bill Belichick poisoned him.
And the backup, Simeon, he gone.
Simeon gone. Who else? Oh, Eli Manning, he's not hurt, but he's still
gone.
He's just not good anymore. Ben Roethlisberger, even though he signed the extension, should he retire? Drew Brees, should he retire? All these dudes trying to play till they're 45, but I think 50 years old. I'm thinking it's time for these guys to retire. Make some room for these youngsters that are coming up.
First off, I don't think that any of them are going to retire. But once one does, I think that'll set the domino effect. Because I think all that kind of class. No, but he's not part of. Andrew Luck is significantly younger than those guys. He's not part of that little clique. But they were in the group message talking about, all right, who's going to retire first? Who is going to be the first one to leave the table? And I think once one does, the dominoes will start falling. But I think also, I don't think anyone wants to go out like that. I think they're all going to want to go out. But once they get back and the next one to have a good season, he'll be the first to go.
Next one to win a Super Bowl.
Not even.
First one to go.
Not even. Good playoff run. Good season.
That'd be Tom Brady. That'd be Tom Brady. Nobody's going anywhere until Tom Brady leaves. Until Tom Brady retires, nobody's going anywhere.
So is everybody trying to outweight?
Do you think Tom Brady's in the clique?
Nah, he's not even because he's older than everybody, and he's like 42.
Yeah, he's 2 years older than Drew Brees, and Drew Brees 40.
Yeah. So I mean, you're in the peer group.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Tom Brady, I don't think he's cool with anybody. You think he's in a clique with all those dudes? You think he's part of the messenger group on Facebook?
I don't think so.
Nah, he's kind of above that.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know. He's kind of weird though.
So you think? All right. So let's say, are we Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, we're Phillip Rivers? Are we waiting? If we're those three guys, let's say we're sitting here. Are we waiting for Tom Brady to retire so we can try to win a Super Bowl?
Well, like you said,
before we retire.
I don't think they're in the crew. I don't think he's in the crew. So I think they're amongst themselves. So what? I mean, I'd even throw Eli in more in the squad than Tom Brady.
Yeah, and Eli, he's done.
Yeah, why is he so different than Peyton? Not even talking about football wise. Why is he so weird?
Peyton's weird too.
Who's older? Peyton's older.
Peyton's actually the middle. They have an older brother.
Yeah.
Besides that.
No, but Eli is Peyton to be doing all these commercials, considered for Monday Night Football.
But you got to think about
Eli
that.
would never.
You got to think about that fishbowl Eli played into, and like how he even started off his NFL career by demanding a trade from the Chargers when he got drafted to go to New York, and that's what happened when Phillip Rivers and Eli kind of like demand. Eli said, "I'm not playing in San Diego." This is when they were San Diego Chargers. So he's always been a weirdo. I mean, I'm not a weirdo, but he's always.
But
been
like, what is he going to do post football? Like, I can't see him being an analyst. He's
going to fade off into the abyss.
Man, not everybody that leaves NFL turns into analyst.
No, but they do something. Most of them are in some sort of like.
Peyton's an entertainer, and Eli's not.
Eli ain't gonna have to do nothing, man. Yeah, he's gonna chill out.
He made a lot of money in New York, and he's gonna just chill.
What would you like to see him do, Zach?
Nothing. Get out of my life. His weird ass.
Speaking of the Giants, let's get into this this slate this weekend. I see the Giants on here.
This is a terrible game.
It is, isn't it?
Giants at Tampa Bay.
Jameis Winston getting back on track.
Tampa Bay 6.5 point favorites.
Only because Bruce Arenas. That's the only reason Jameis Winston's getting back.
All right. Daniel Jones starting for the Giants because Eli Manning's no good anymore. Sorry, Eli. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Jameis has a good game. What y'all think?
I mean, I think this.
He doesn't have a great fantasy game, but he has a good NFL game.
No, I bet he does.
No.
I bet one of those quarterbacks that goes crazy.
I think Jameis and Mike Evans are going to have a good game.
And this is the type of game that like is the reason that Jameis is still the quarterback there because he has these random good games and they're like, all right, we keep him.
I agree with that.
All right, Steelers and San Francisco 49ers. Mason Rudolph, San Francisco's 6.5 point favorite because, well, Mason Rudolph's the backup quarterback starting.
And San Francisco's hot too.
Yeah, they are. And Pittsburgh has to go all the way across the country to the West Coast. It's not as hard as for the East Coast going to the West, right? Than West going to the East.
So what do you think about? What do y'all think about that Minkah Fitzpatrick trade? So Steelers getting rid of a first round pick that you would assume they would want to use to draft a quarterback. Do you think that's a mistake on the Steelers' part, or do you think that's more like an inclination that they like truly believe in Mason Rudolph?
I think they really do.
Minkah Fitzpatrick is not only a Biletnikoff winner, he's a Thorpe winner and national champion at Alabama, and he's going to definitely shore up their secondary. I don't have any problem with that pick.
What's the Steelers historically?
And if they pick, are they going to pick in the top 10?
Right.
Are they going to pick in the top 10 if they get their first round pick?
Well, I mean, if they didn't believe that Mason Rudolph, I mean, just looking at it, you have a rookie that's never really played meaningful games. That wasn't a super early pick. You would look at that and be like, all right, they're going to be trash, and they'll have an early first round pick. That's how you look at it. And this is like a QB heavy draft too.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think they really like Mason Rudolph. I mean,
but I wonder.
I mean,
after what happened last year with Big Ben and AB, I don't think they're going to do anything to cause any waves and doubt in Big Ben's mind. And so that's how I don't think they're going QB now. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. He's 38, going on 39. So everybody's playing into their 40s, and so I think they're going to try to keep.
But if you're
Big Ben to have a peace of mind.
If you're Big Ben, don't you look at them trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick post him being injured, as in like, why are you putting this team around this kid? Why aren't you saving this draft pick for when I get healthy and you can give me somebody in the draft
to shore up the defense so that so Mason Rudolph doesn't have to win the game? It can be put on the running game, keep it low scoring, just like Vandergrift does. Let Connor run the ball. Let Rudolph make third downs.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's because the Pittsburgh Steelers have historically been a defensive team. They win on defense. They don't win with their offense. Even though Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, yes, when they were the offensive-minded team like that, I mean, they weren't winning Super Bowls like that. They won Super Bowls when they had really good defenses. So I think maybe they're trying to change their mindset and say, hey, let's build up our defense once again and let the defense set up the offense rather than the offense trying to set up the defense. That's what I think. Pittsburgh, San Francisco minus 6.5.
I'll go back. I know, Paul, you're a big fantasy guy. What do you think that says about the James Washington stock for Pittsburgh? I mean, he was Rudolph's teammate at Oklahoma State when he was going crazy.
Nothing.
I really don't think it has a lot of weight, just because if Les Rudolph finds a groove, I don't think that passes are going to be taken up by Washington over Juju, personally.
But I mean, Washington had a lot of hype coming into the season because he did really well in the preseason. But also, I want to say, I'm curious to see how Rudolph does, because if y'all recall, whenever he was drafted, Roethlisberger came out and said, like, I'm not taking him under my wing. Like, I'm not.
Why should he?
I'm not, like, people always say, like, oh, you want to get the rookie to be paired with the old guy. That way he can teach him and show him the ropes and stuff. Roethlisberger was, like, famously, like, I'm not going to do that for this kid.
Well, I mean, Ben is kind of a Richard anyways, though, isn't he?
I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I know what that means. I got you.
I mean, right. I mean, we all think, we kind of know that about Big Ben. I mean, he's not really the best teammate.
Look, this is the NFL. It's a meritocracy, and if he can't go out there and prove his worth, okay, yes, all right, I did say that. If he can't go prove his worth, then why is he going to be there if he can't perform? And that's the business. If you can perform, great. If not, hit the high road.
Next game, Chris.
Yeah, you didn't answer my question. Pittsburgh, 6.5. They're getting 6.5 points.
I like Mason Rudolph. I think he was good in the Big 12. So I don't think Pittsburgh will win, but I think they'll cover.
Go ahead.
I got Pittsburgh winning the game.
Ooh.
Yep.
And what did you like, Zach?
He said cover.
Yeah.
You think they cover? I think San Francisco covers 7. I know it's 6.5, but I think they win.
Man, how much? Yeah, I got Pittsburgh Steelers winning the game.
I know we're in the hole right now, but do we need to do this again? I mean,
I still want my pluckers.
I know I did feed you.
No, you said you don't like pluckers, so that.
Whatever, man. I can shout out pluckers, man. We need some sponsors. Detroit Lions, Philadelphia Eagles. Do we need to talk about that game? Philadelphia minus 6.5.
Man, hopefully Philly has some offense. All their receivers are hurt, but still, you hope they do something.
Lions played well on Sunday, so that could be a good game.
All right, so Philly's at home. They're getting Detroit's getting 6.5 points.
No, Philly's getting 6.5. Oh,
no.
I see what you're saying. Detroit is plus 6.5.
Yeah, Detroit's getting the 6.5.
Right.
I mean, I like Detroit. No?
You like Detroit with the points?
Detroit with the points, obviously. Plus 6.5. No differing opinions on that?
I like Chris's pick on that. I like the 6.5 with Detroit.
All right, Oakland, Minnesota. Minnesota, 8.5 point favorite at home against the Raiders. The Raiders.
It's just Oakland's offense is so not good. Derek Carr is just
Josh Jacobs kind of hurt too.
Derek Carr is just really good at not being good.
And that's a West Coast team coming to the Midwest.
And they play good defense.
And that's a noon kickoff. Man, that's going to be rough.
All right, but that's 8.5 points. That's a lot of points in NFL.
That's hard. Yeah, it's a hard cover.
All right, I'm going to go Minnesota covering that. Atlanta, Indianapolis. The Colts are getting 2 points at home. Or not getting 2 points. They are a 2-point favorite at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Calvin Ridley now, in my opinion, the number 1 wide receiver on that Falcons team.
Real quick, that line is that you said
-2.
-2. As of 8:38, the line is moved. Indy is favored -1.5.
Okay, so Atlanta getting some love.
Yeah.
All right. I like Atlanta.
I mean, I think the Colts are kind of rolling.
Jacoby, you like Jacoby?
Brissett, I picked him up in my fantasy team.
You like Jacoby?
This weekend.
All right.
Because I had Big Ben and he got hurt, so I had to pick up somebody, and I picked up Jacoby.
There was nobody else out there?
No one.
Your boy Minshew wasn't out there?
He was, but
come on, man.
I'm a window shopper.
Ain't about that life.
I know, man. I thought he was your favorite player.
Nah, he was last week.
Dang, Gardner Minshew was sitting out there. Mr. Washington State himself, Mr. Mustache Minshew.
There's too much strife on that team right now.
Jacksonville?
With the Jalen Ramsey debacle.
All right, well, let's talk about that game since we're talking about Tennessee and Jacksonville. That's actually a Thursday night game, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, Thursday night game.
So does Jalen Ramsey play this game?
Yes.
You don't think he's moved before then? Before tomorrow night?
No. Jacksonville, I think Jalen Ramsey plays. Jacksonville is getting 1 point at home. Gardner Minshew, he had the second highest Wonderlic test score in the NFL draft last year.
Yeah, we are the official podcast of Gardner Minshew.
We are. I hope he knows that.
I hope he does too.
Tennessee Titans, impressive first week. Last week, not so much. Jacksonville Jaguars, I think I'm going to take them at home.
I think so too. I mean,
I'm going to take them at home.
Yeah,
Gardner
I think
Minshew
so
finally going to get his Gardner Minshew powers going.
And I kind of wish that Tennessee were to light him up so they would ship Jalen Ramsey, because I just think it's good for the NFL to have these big moves. It's just something to talk about. Because because I'm kind of worried that if he plays well and everything, like, we're not talking about that game at all, then things will be good. But I think Jacksonville covers at home as well.
Paul?
Oh man, it's just
come on, man.
I just don't have the
faith. You gotta have a take.
I just don't have the faith. I like Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee. Mariota, D. Henry. I think the defense for Tennessee holds Minshew, and they get the W.
All right, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Do we need to talk about that game? Buffalo's 6-point favorites. I think Buffalo's going to blow them out.
Shout out Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Keep running touchdown passes. John Brown. Shout out him.
Just landed Josh Allen on my fantasy to replace Big Ben.
Frank Gore is supposed to be playing in this game too.
Bro, the running back who doesn't go away.
Denver and Green Bay. Green Bay 7.5-point favorites at home against the Denver Broncos.
That offense is just getting better and better every week.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's the first time they're not playing like a really, really good defense. You still have to worry about Von Miller, but still.
Vic Fangio's defense at Denver just cannot get to the pass rusher. Like, they just can't get there. Von Miller's playing like a wide 9, and it's taking him too long out of his natural position to get to the quarterback. And I'm sorry, but if Flacco's going to play quarterback in the fourth quarter, why even show up to the game? Because that's what he's doing. He's only playing quarterback in the fourth quarter.
I mean, I think the Packers' offense is getting better and better. That defense have shown that they're the real deal. So if you're going against an offense that's not great, that defense is gonna show out again, and that offense is just getting better and better. I think it's a big win for the Pack.
All right, Green Bay Packers looking to go 3-0. They're 7.5-point favorites. Do they cover?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I think they do too.
Yeah. Okay. Baltimore. Me too. Baltimore, Kansas City. Game of the week, possibly. I'm looking at the slate. Yeah. I mean, Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes, the way the Baltimore Ravens have been playing this year. Now, okay, I mean, granted, the teams they've played haven't been very good.
They're still not playing a very good defense.
Yeah, but Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City, 6.5-point favorites at home against this Lamar Jackson-led offense.
I think just Vegas still doesn't believe in Lamar Jackson, I think.
I guess so. Fall?
I just don't know how you stop Kansas City with Mahomes at quarterback. Like, I don't care. You score 20, he'll score 28. You score 28, he'll score 35. And I just think that's how it's going to happen. If the ball ends up in Patrick Mahomes' hands last, Kansas City's going to get the W, period.
I mean, if you want to compare, if for some reason you put the performance that Lamar Jackson has had at the level of the performance that Mahomes has, I mean, the Ravens definitely have the better defense of the two, but I just don't think those quarterbacks are at the same level.
I mean, yeah, I consider Patrick Mahomes a proven quarterback. I do not consider Lamar Jackson a proven quarterback just yet.
Right.
New York Jets, New England Patriots. Paul, will you get it? I mean, I have a hard copy here, so will you give me an updated? Is it still 22.5-point favorite for the New England Patriots at home against the Jets?
It's what do you have there?
22.5.
Patriots -23.
Jeez.
Wow.
Putting money.
The Jets are bad. That's a sickly organization.
I mean, Luke. Nobody's got any faith in Luke Falk.
That's another Washington
Who?
State. That's another Washington State guy.
Yep.
Luke Falk. Yeah, Mike Leach is just putting him out there, huh? Them quarterbacks just coming out of that
Nobody
Northwest.
wants to pick the Jets. We'd be the official podcast of Washington State quarterbacks.
We could be.
So you want to pick the Jets to cover then?
Cover 23?
Yeah.
No. Nope. I will not. Carolina, Arizona, 6.5. Or no, it's not 6.5. It's a 2-point favorite for the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton still might not play this game. Paul.
Updated line: Arizona -2.5.
Wow!
I can't believe they're favoring the rookie.
Really? Well, I mean, it probably has to do with Cam
Newton.
Yeah, he might not play.
Cam's been hurt. He's been hurt since preseason.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to say, like, I was watching Stephen A. Smith saying he's overrated, and I'm like, the man's hurt. Why are we talking about overrated or underrated?
That's just, that's them talking heads. They have to get people riled up. Houston Texans, Los Angeles Chargers. I've got 3.5-point favorite at home against the Texans. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. Phillip Rivers, one of them old quarterbacks that's actually having a pretty decent year.
He always does, man. He's the best unpopular quarterback in the NFL.
He's the best mediocre quarterback, maybe.
I wouldn't call the man mediocre. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not elite.
He's better than Dak.
Yes, he's better than Dak.
And we got to get back to that because when we talked about Dak and he just rolled, and then Houston Texans lost. Again and New Orleans Saints, Seattle Seahawks.
That would have been a good game if Drew Brees wasn't hurt. But, man, poor Taysom Hill.
That's what exactly.
What about him?
He didn't get any run.
He got robbed. He should have been the number 2 quarterback over Teddy Bridgewater. And
how do you know he's
Teddy
not?
Bridgewater, take the gloves off. You're inside.
Teddy been named the starter.
Yeah, I was kind of mad because I made one of those, what do they call, showdown lineups in DraftKings.
Yeah,
and I actually had Taysom Hill as my quarterback. Like, well, he was like one of my, I was like quarterback, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna count as quarterback either way.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh man, I was like, I saw Drew Brees, I'll go down. I was like, oh yeah, Taysom Hill. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna win $1 million. It didn't happen like that. Teddy Bridgewater ruined it.
Dang, would have won $1 million.
So Seattle -4.5. I'm gonna have to go Seattle covering
that game
on that one.
Sucks.
Easy cover.
Easy cover. All right, Dallas Cowboys. Let's get to them.
That game sucks.
Miami Dolphins.
Why do we even have to talk about it?
Dallas Cowboys -21.5. How many touchdowns does Dak Prescott have?
4.
Throw or have?
Have
4.
3 and rushing and passing. Total touchdowns.
I like your 4, but I like it 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
It's 4. It doesn't even matter how much, but it's the Dolphins. Y'all can have 4 touchdowns apiece.
Okay.
Against the Dolphins.
So 3. We'll set the line at 3.5. Y'all are both going over. Total touchdowns for Dak.
Yes.
All right, and then finally, what a terrible Monday nighter. Bears and Redskins. Can you get something better?
Well, the Bears were supposed to be this good defense with Mitch Trubisky coming back. He had a good close to the season. Everybody's finally healthy in Washington. Got all these weapons. Adrian Peterson, Darius Geis coming back, and none of that has happened. Trubisky sucks. Geis is injured again. The Redskins are trash. The Bears are trash. I'm going to go to bed early.
You can say what you want about Washington being trash, but their first 2 opponents were Philly and Dallas. And one won the Super Bowl the year before that, and last year Dallas won the NFC East. And those games were tight. The first game, Philly was a loss 32-27, and we all know what happened last week. The Redskins lost 31-21. I think the Redskins win this game against Trubisky and the Bears.
So the Redskins are getting 4 points right now. What are you seeing?
I think the Redskins will win the money line. Right now the spread is Chicago -4.
Yeah, and you got Redskins winning?
Yeah, I'll take the Redskins like straight up.
I would too.
I honestly care so little. I would pay to not watch this game. The money that y'all are betting on this game, I would pay to not watch.
For real?
Yeah.
You're not going to watch a little bit of it?
Like if y'all put $20, I'll put $20 to go to sleep when the game starts.
You're not even going to watch a little bit of it?
Nope, I'm going to be playing Madden.
The money lines are a little different. Like the money line for Chicago, so if you pick Chicago to win straight up, it's -200. So that means you get 50% of your return. So if you bet $100, you'd get 50.
Okay.
So if the money line though for the Redskins is +175. I mean, I think that's where I think things are a little bit more favored to Washington, and I bet this money line moves and more in the favor of Washington as we get closer. I'm sorry, it moves in the direction of favor for Chicago.
So you're like the Redskins money line. What was the money line that I liked? It was the Steelers winning that game.
So I can look real quick, and that money line will be.
Zach, do you have any of these dogs that you like on any of this?
The money line for the Steelers is +240.
The Colts, you like the Colts?
I like the Colts.
Okay, Colts would be your money line bet. All right, so that's our NFL talk. We're going to get into high school football now tomorrow night.
Jalen Ramsey, go to the Packers, please.
All right, so Bowie sitting at 1-2. We're getting into high school football here, Central Texas. Bowie 1-2, 0-1 in district. They're playing Del Valley, hosting the Del Valley Cardinals tomorrow night. Also, Liberty Hill, Connally, and Hayes and Anderson. We've actually got a couple of interviews that Paul did with Xaiver Green of Hayes and Demetris Gardner Holmes of Connally. Which one do we want to do first here, Paul?
Let's go ahead and start with Xaiver Green. We got Xaiver Green on the line here, Hayes Rebel running back, class of 2020. How's it going?
It's going good. I feel good.
Good, man.
How about you guys?
We're doing pretty good. Let's just hop right into it. Tell me about how things are going so far. Y'all are undefeated right now. You're heading into Thursday's game against Anderson. How do y'all feel going into Thursday night?
We feel great. It is a Thursday game, so we had a 2-week practice, but we had a bye week, and we took that week and we worked with it, and I feel very confident. I feel good. Anderson's a great team, so we're not gonna take those guys for granted and underestimate them. We're gonna come out and play our hardest for quarters.
Excellent, man. And y'all did have that bye week going into from last week. So did that give y'all time to heal up? Did y'all focus on some schemes, or did y'all really just try to make sure y'all got some rest going into district play?
We went full out, full pads, everything. Like a standard week of practice. We focus on being physical, and we take practice as we would a game. So everything's full game speed all the time, and we're going as hard as we can. So we did practice a lot. It was a good week. We learned a lot of technique. We did a lot of film. So I think our guys are mentally and physically ready for the game.
Awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. I'm old school, so I like to hear when the pads pop. So, I do know Hayes is a physical team with y'all style of offense, but I know y'all guys on the defense side of the ball, man. Those guys are popping too, and I saw that when I went to go see y'all against Stripping Springs. Tell me, what do you think is going to be the key for the defense to stop Anderson? I know what y'all can do on offense, and you know too. But shout out those guys on defense, and who is going to be the key to stop Anderson going into Thursday?
It's a full team effort. We have a few team leaders. We have our safety Will Agnew, our corners PLA and Justin, and we have our core linebacker group and our defensive linemen. At the end of the day, it's just technique and playing the ball right, and just mental mistakes. We got to eliminate those, and the physical part should be there. I mean, those guys have trained and worked very hard this offseason, and they're ready for this. Anderson has a really good offense. I know Carson over there, those guys are killing it. So, like I said, full respect for them. They just got our defense has to play on their A game. Take it as we would like Travis or Westlake or any of those other schools, and we're just going to play our hearts out. Awesome.
Well, everybody, we got Hayes running back, Xaiver Green on the line. Xaiver, who you shouting out tonight?
Man, I want to shout out Coach Goad. I want to shout out the whole football team, offense, defense, O-lineman, defensive lineman. I want to shout out Fan Sam. I want to shout out Recon Athlete. I want to shout out everybody that's been supporting. Don't sleep on Hayes, guys. We're coming up. This is our second year in a row, and I feel even better this year. So, guys, go ahead and give us our respect and support. And we're a different kind of breed when it comes to football. We're hard-nosed, hard-mouthed football, and come out and see. We're going to be playing tomorrow on KView. Also, we're going to be streaming online, so you guys go and check that out.
Man, check them out. Hayes Rebels, led by Xaiver Green. Sir, I appreciate the time and setting aside for us for today. And best of luck tomorrow. Go Rebs, RPND.
Thank you.
All right, shout out to Xaiver for taking some time to get with us, and P-Rod. P-Rod, good job on the interview. Hayes and Anderson tomorrow night. It's going to be on KBVO, I believe. 3-0 Anderson, 2-0 Hayes. Paul, you've seen Hayes. You've seen Xaiver. What's your assessment of tomorrow night's game?
I like Hayes in this game tonight. Battle of the Unbeatens on Thursday night. I mean, they're going to have all the eyes on them as they're going to be on TV on KBVO. So I like Hayes. That offense, I don't think anybody can stop it right now, not until they battle the Lake schools. And, shout out to Anderson for coming in and being this strong, but they're probably going to have a loss in the column tomorrow.
Yeah, and we had another interview. Paul, you want to set that one up?
Yeah, next up we have Demetris Gardner Holmes, running back at Connally High. Demetris, how you feeling tonight?
I feel great. Ready for tomorrow. See what we can do.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for y'all tomorrow. Talk to us about how things are going for y'all in the season so far, and tell us about what kind of attention you're also getting. I've seen you post some stories on Instagram. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we're doing great as a team. We're playing hard, playing together, not arguing like we used to do. We're playing like unselfish and everything. And the attention I'm getting, it's kind of good. It's great to see who's out there still with me, watching me, and, still in my back, in my corner. And it's a great feeling.
Excellent. For everybody who don't know, the Connally Cougars are a great team to watch. I mean, this young man who we're talking tonight has highlights all over college recruiting sites, from Huddle to Recon Athlete to Man, everywhere. Fan Stand ATX. So look out for this young man, up and coming, doing a great job. Demetris, talk about how things are going to fare tomorrow night. What have y'all have planned? Don't give away too many secrets, but what do y'all got planned for Liberty Hill going into Thursday?
We got a couple of things up our sleeve. Can't say too much, but I feel like we got to execute, play fast, play good, play smart. Let's be disciplined, watch out for their little trick plays and everything, just pay attention.
I tell you what I like seeing when I watched y'all against Bastrop last week, are they going to get you involved in the passing game out of the backfield a little more? Is that something that may come or may not?
Yeah, it's going to come most likely because, yeah.
That's awesome, man, because I saw what you can do in the open field, and when you get loose, that's a sight to see. So I'm looking forward to everything going on against Liberty Hill. Tell me tonight, who you shouting out?
Shout out to my mom, my family, shout out to the coaches, my team, shout out to my boy Harrison, shout out to everybody that stayed tuned, shout out to all the coaches that's with me, shout out to all middle school coaches.
All right, everybody, this is Connally running back, Demetris Gardner Holmes, class of 21. Search for him on Instagram. I appreciate all the time. You have a great night tonight. Get some rest, and we'll look forward against you and the Connally Cougars against Liberty Hill on Thursday night.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Likewise. That was Demetris Gardner Holmes, a Connally running back. Tomorrow, Connally facing off on Thursday night against Liberty Hill. They'll host Liberty Hill as they come in. It's going to be a tough game. Liberty Hill's coming off that loss last week to Manor.
Mm-hmm. 2 losses in a row.
That's right. 2 losses a week before that was against Hutto.
Mm-hmm.
So Liberty Hill trying to get primed up for their district. But Connally Cougars, tough loss last week against Bastrop at Bashburn Memorial. They look great, Chris. I mean, they whenever they needed something, they could always go to Jade Barron. And, I mean, the young man, Demetris Gardner Holmes, can just pound the rock inside. I'd like to see them get him the ball out of the backfield a little bit more through the passing game. But, I mean, if they need a long run, he can definitely break it. And we've seen the highlights of the young man hurdling folks in scrimmage play. So, shout out to the Connally Cougars. Hopefully, they'll pull out the W tomorrow. So, best of luck to them tomorrow.
All right, Liberty Hill, Connally. That's tomorrow night, Thursday night. Also, Thursday night, Del Valley Bowie and Hayes and Anderson. Friday night games, we got Seguin versus Reagan, Cedar Ridge versus Leander, Vista Ridge versus Westwood, which is the game I would like to go to, but Zach Lucetto thinks that I should not go to that game. Zach, tell me why I should not go to that game.
You've already seen those teams. You already know those guys, and they're gonna have some bigger matchups.
But it's gonna be a really good game.
Because I want you to go to the Westwood game when they play Vandergrift. So
I'll go to that game too.
So you're just gonna go to every Westwood game?
Probably, yeah. I almost did. I wish I should have went to Westwood last week. And then I ended up going to McNeil and Vista Ridge. And we saw what happened there. But shout out to McNeil.
At least you've seen another team.
Yeah, you're right. Katy Cinco Ranch versus Cedar Park. Should I go to that game?
Yeah.
Or rather than Vista Ridge or Westwood?
You should probably go to the Cedar Park game and then leave at half.
Because you think Katy Cinco Ranch is going to
also, for the sake of the pod, when it gets later in the year and teams are making playoff runs, Cinco Ranch is a team that could potentially make a deep playoff run. So you'll be the only one probably in the area that knows a lot about Katy Cinco Ranch as they're making a playoff run.
You know what, Zach? Sometimes you can be kind of smart.
Most of the time.
Sometimes. Hutto, Houston, Lamar. Hutto is going to Houston, and Zach thinks
that's DBU over there, Houston Lamar.
Zach thinks that Hutto's going to get their first loss, huh?
I think so, man. Houston Lamar, that's a different breed. That's a D1 school right there. That's a DB factory, man.
Hutto's a D1 school too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they got some players coming out of there. I mean, Chase Griffin went UCLA. Chooks went Texas Tech.
Chase Griffin didn't have to play no Houston Lamar.
They played all those other Houston teams, and then that really kind of knocked them out of the playoffs, like Richmond, Fort Bend.
Exactly.
Van Hendrickson versus Vandergrift. Zach, talk about that game.
No, I want this game to be competitive. Not only because Hendrickson is my alma mater, but Vandergrift needs to play in a close game. They need to. I'm glad Cedar Ridge scored to get that shutout off the moniker for Vandergrift. But they just need to play some closer games. It's something that happened last year a lot, so it really kind of gave them that kind of mentality, and to know that they've been battle tested going into playoffs. And just looking down the line of the district, I don't see a lot of schools that are potentially going to be those types of games for Vandergrift. So hopefully this can be one. I think for Vandergrift's sake, it would be it would behoove them to have it to play in a close game. But I just don't know that Hendrickson's got it. I mean, if Hendrickson plays a clean game, I think it could be close, but that hasn't been Hendrickson's MO this year.
Well, I mean, it's not like Vandegrift is lighting up the scoreboard, right? So if Hendrickson can get anything done offensively and play a little bit of defense, which, you know, they played some defense against a really good Westwood team, you know, last week. So, or offensive team last week in Westwood. So if they can put some points on the board and, you know, play some defense against Vandegrift, but I think the hard part's going to be putting points on the board against this Vandegrift defense.
So this is where I'm kind of interpreting the matchup based off of just the way Hendrickson's played this year. Is this a trap game for Vandegrift?
I mean, yeah, but it's Hendrickson is what scares me the most is that, like, I don't know if Hendrickson's good or bad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like normally you see a trap game and it's like, oh, they should roll this team because this team isn't good. And it's like, you look at this game and you're like, I think Vandegrift should win just because Vandegrift's good. It's not, I think they should win because Hendrickson's bad.
Yeah, just that.
It's just one of those things where if Hendrickson just puts it together.
Hendrickson needs to play dangerous. Liberty Hill. That's how you get unlocked. It's just playing Liberty Hill.
Dang. So, Zach, what's your prediction?
I'm calling that game, so I can't give predictions like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Round Rock versus McNeil. Round Rock sitting at 2-0. McNeil 1-2. That's going to be McNeil play some defense. You know, get you guys on offense out there.
I'm still trying to figure out how good Round Rock is. So
I think they're pretty dang good, man. I think they're pretty dang good. Maybe you should
go to that game so you could find out.
Okay. Well, I went to see McNeil last week. I saw them. Yeah. I've seen them twice now. Well, I saw their scrimmage. Westlake Austin High. I kind of want to go to see that game. That's going to be any game at House Park of this magnitude is going to be lit, right? Can I say that? Is that okay? I'm almost 40. Can I say lit?
Yeah, your knees are probably feeling lit sitting down this
man,
long,
my shoulder is, man. My shoulder's feeling lit because it's about to rain tomorrow. Westlake, Austin High. Okay, Austin High, 2-1. Westlake, 3-0. Most of the pundits.
But Austin High is supposed, air quotes, supposed to be good. So let's see. Let's see how good the quarterback is.
Offensively, they're good. You know, defensively, you know, have a hard time stopping the other team. So
when's the Lakes? Do you know when the Battle of the Lakes is?
I think it's not. I don't think it's till like mid-October.
So we still got a little while.
Yeah.
So maybe this be a game one of y'all goes to, because I mean you're not going to see. Cause I assume we'll be at the Battle of the Lakes, and so this gives you time to see Westlake then versus now.
All right.
Maybe this is on the roster.
I haven't seen Lake Travis. They're playing Aikens.
I was gonna try to check that out.
Paul's gonna go see Lake Travis. Aikens.
Westlake Austin High is a way better game.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be worse than Taco Shack Bowl.
Travis Dripping Springs, LBJ McCallum.
That's another one I put out there that I'd rather you go to than Westwood.
Really?
I just think you need to immerse yourselves in more games than just Westwood.
Just my Warriors.
Yeah.
But they're good, man. They're fun to watch. Coach Wood. Did you see Coach Wood's interview with KVU after their game last week?
I saw him. It was amazing. Fun fact, I've called a game with Coach Woods before. I did the sideline work for Henderson Cedar Ridge a few years ago, and he was doing the color.
Yeah, Coach Wood, man, I wish I could have played for him, man. He's legit head coach for Westwood. LBJ McCallum, let's get back to that. This is LBJ all the way, kind of, Zach?
I mean, you would hope.
Yes, I don't have a doubt in my mind, LBJ.
All right, Houston St. Pius visiting Maynard. The Mustangs finally getting to play a home game. Maybe I should go see the Maynard Mustangs. I mean, I work for Maynard ISD. It's right down the road from where I work. So
who do they have?
Houston St. Pius the 10th.
Yeah, but I'd rather you see them when they play another area team, unless it's the single ranch, because that's like a state powerhouse. All
right, Waco, La Vega, and Pflugerville, and then Lanier.
I'd rather you go to that game than the Maynard game, because La Vega's a state powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Okay, so here are my choices: Vista Ridge, Westwood.
Okay, that's the choices. You know,
Katy Cinco Ranch, Cedar Park.
Keep going.
And Westlake Austin High, or Houston St. Pius the 10th at Maynard.
All right, which one? Where are you going, Paul?
Lake Travis Aikens.
Okay, well that was irrelevant. All right, Chris.
I kind of want to go Cinco Ranch, Cedar Park.
Because
that'll be at Gupton.
Right.
Gupton's fun.
Gupton is fun.
That's a good place.
And they're pretty lax with the sideline access over there too.
Oh, really? I don't know. I like being in the stands though. I really do. Watching football, like if I'm not trying to get film, I like to watch from the stands because you get a better, sight of what's going on both sides of the field. Because when you're like on the sideline, sometimes you can't see what's happening on the other side.
Yeah, you can't.
We're talking about this way too much, but especially because Cedar Park is the only area school, it's not like you'd have to be going sideline to sideline. You could just hang out on the Cedar Park sideline, watch the game over there, and then you'll know a lot more about like how the team handles themselves on the sideline, who are like the vocal leaders, who's the fiery guy that gets everybody hyped up.
Okay, fine. I'm going to the Katie Cinco Ranch Cedar Park game. Let's get into college, fellas.
Thank God.
This weekend.
A way better weekend.
Auburn versus... Okay, so last weekend there was no top 25 games.
But it wasn't a bad weekend.
There were some really good games.
Iowa
I don't
State.
want to get into it. Iowa State was good. It was like 6-hour long game because they had 2 lightning delays, but it ended up being a really good game.
Iowa State, not that good this year.
Yeah, Iowa wins. USC gets upset by BYU. They had the crowd come out of the stands, and then they had to stop the crowd from cheering and pouring onto the stands because they had to replay the last play of the game. So like everybody comes rolling out, and then the referees are like, "Hey, hold on, we're not sure they made that interception." And then they were like, "Okay, yeah, he made the interception." And then the crowd was like, "Yeah, okay." So that was pretty dope. I mean, there was some good games last week. So I mean, even though there weren't any top 25 games, there was still some good football to be played. All right, Auburn versus Texas A&M.
That's a good game.
Auburn Tigers, number 8. Texas A&M still sitting at 17. Paul wanted to talk about this game. I'll let you do that, Paul.
Yeah, Bo Hicks is a quarterback for Auburn, and the young man, huh?
Bo Nix.
That's not what I said.
You said Bo Hicks.
I'm sorry, Bo Nix. Thank you, Zach. I'm so glad you were there to help me.
You're welcome.
Bo Nix, quarterback Auburn. I just don't think he has enough. I know he did great in his first week 1, but I think that's where Kellen Moore comes in and yes, man. I'm just having.
Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Man, hold on.
So I don't think you really believe in your Aggies.
Do you really want to talk about this game?
You really want to talk about this game?
No, let's just move on.
No, seriously though, Kellen Mond. I mean, you really think the Aggies are going to win this game?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're picking Kellen Mond up from when I dropped him off.
I'm picking up Jimbo Fisher. That's who I'm really picking up. I just think that the defense that A&M is coming in with. Well, I mean,
Auburn's had A&M's number in the past few years.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
I mean, how many times are going to get interrupted? Let me just count that out real quick. A&M needs to put it together. They played Clemson tough in that second week. I just don't think they have enough to beat Clemson, but I think they have more than enough to challenge the SEC West. They're not going to beat Alabama. They didn't beat LSU, or they're probably not going to beat LSU this year. But I think they do beat Auburn in this week 4 matchup.
Auburn needs to win this game so they can get A&M off this top 25. They've just been hanging around too long, and I think they're for fake.
You don't think they're a top 25 team, A&M?
No.
Okay. Why?
Why are they? Because they almost beat Clemson?
The burden of proof's not on me. It's on you.
Zach?
I don't know what that means.
All right. So, I mean, so Texas A&M top 25 team because they're an SEC, I guess. I mean, I don't know any other reason why they should be a Texas.
A&M's a 3.5 point favorite. Just so I know that.
Because it's in College Station.
Because it's in College Station. All right, I don't know. I don't believe in the Aggies. I've never believed in the Aggies. They've never given me any reason to believe in them.
I did believe in the Aggies.
When?
Whenever I thought Kellen Mond was going to do good.
When he thought Kellen Mond was better than Lawrence.
So, I mean, I think maybe Vegas is saying that, okay, Auburn's maybe not as good as their 3-0 mark is. And we're going to give Texas A&M 3.5 points at home. I think a team that should be in the top 25 that's not playing, it's not in the top 25, is playing here in Austin, Texas this weekend. That's the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They're playing the Texas Longhorns. Texas is a 5.5 point favorite. Anytime you got a running back named Chuba Hubbard, as the Oklahoma State Cowboys do, they're legit. I don't know if have y'all seen any Oklahoma State at all? Anybody?
Tyler Wallace leads the nation in receiving. Chuba Hubbard leads the nation in rushing yards. Mm-hmm. Spencer Sanders, dual threat guy from Denton Ryan.
Yep.
He's like one of the long line of Sanders.
Guys, they played Oregon State, McNeese State, and Tulsa.
Okay. And
The competition is extremely
A&M
low.
played Lamar, who's in
who they played,
UIW's
Lamar?
conference.
who else did they play? They played Clemson.
I just named them. Oh, you talking about A&M?
It's A&M, yeah.
A&M played Texas State, Lamar, and Clemson.
Right.
Oklahoma State would work A&M.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I let me know what you're drinking so I can have some, please.
I don't know, man. I just don't. I'm not feeling you, Paul.
Oklahoma State is good.
Oh, yeah, they are
State is
good.
Okay,
They're really good.
So if
The only reason Oklahoma State is not ranked is because they haven't played anybody. The only reason A&M is ranked because they lost to Clemson.
Right.
well, they were a preseason top 15 team, and then they lost to Clemson, who was number 1 at the time.
Yeah, but preseason don't mean nothing.
Well, I mean, apparently not for USC and for Notre Dame and these other top 10 teams.
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen Oklahoma State play. They're very impressive offensively.
Tom Herman hasn't beat Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and Oklahoma State's won 5 in a row here at home or here in Austin. So I think this is.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
I mean,
I'm excited for the game.
When you talk about trap games, I think this is a trap game.
I'm talking about track meet too.
No, trap.
I'm talking about track meet too.
Track
I think
and
there's gonna
trap.
be a lot of scoring.
Track and trap.
Yeah.
All right. So who do you got? Longhorns or Oklahoma State?
I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know if
5.5. Let's do the spread. 5.5.
It's 6 now.
6 points. All the money's going on Texas.
Yep.
I'll take Oklahoma State.
+6.
+6.
Ooh,
I do.
that's interesting.
I don't know. I don't want to pick. It hurt my heart because
It hurts me. It hurts me too. I mean, I'm a Longhorn fan. I mean,
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
am
go to.
I,
I didn't go there. I went to St. Edwards. You went to UIW.
Yeah, but
'cause smart.
we're Mexicans that live in Austin, so you we're Longhorns and Cowboys. That's your favorite team.
What are they way? Yeah, and the Astros and Chelsea, of course.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
All right.
Wisconsin beat this game, win this game. That's
Why?
show you're good. I mean, Harbaugh, what is he doing?
I don't know. I haven't seen either of these teams play, so I can't have a take.
Make a super staff with Chip Kelly and all the other coaches.
I haven't seen these teams play, so I can't have a take on that. The big game to me is Notre Dame, Georgia. Notre Dame and going to Georgia. Notre Dame is getting 14 points. What's the latest?
14.5.
14. All the money's going on Georgia.
I think Georgia rolls big.
No.
Ian Book is the best quarterback that Georgia's going to face all year.
Yep.
I agree.
Notre Dame covers.
Ian Book is a more athletic Baker, so they ride or die with him. And just like Baker, he has bad games, and he starts slow sometimes, like Baker does too. So if he starts slow, I don't think that's an indication on him being a bad quarterback.
But the Irish are always like the Longhorns. In these huge games, primetime games, they just let you down. And that's where I think that Georgia's going to come in, and they just take care of business at home.
I mean, yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame. I'm taking 14.5 points.
Yeah, for sure. Whoa.
I mean, I don't think Georgia rolls them.
This is 17 points a roll.
What? Yeah.
Okay, then I think they'll win by 17.
So you're saying Georgia covers?
Georgia wins by 17.
I think Georgia covers and wins by 17. Yes.
Georgia isn't even like that though. Like,
okay,
they're not built like that. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right.
We'll visit it on next Wednesday.
We have a pin. Somebody got a pin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Write all this down.
I mean, who was right last week about Iowa? Who was right all week on Saturday with their picks?
I don't remember. Were you? Who'd you pick?
I sent y'all the messenger.
Who were they?
Arizona State. I had Iowa, and I had who was the third one? Let me just look it up right here.
It up.
No, I sent the photo on purpose so that y'all can see it and y'all can be like, "Oh, that's what his picks were."
Arizona State. That's a good. I mean, I would have gone Arizona State. I like Herm.
Yeah, I would have gone Arizona State too. That's the easy pick. I would have gone Iowa.
I went Iowa.
Yeah,
I like Iowa.
Are you sure those weren't our picks, Paul?
I didn't see you put anything in the messenger.
Because I got you muted. You don't get my messages.
So I picked Texas minus 30.5. That covered TCU and Iowa State.
TCU. What was TCU?
TCU was money line 120 minus 125.
Word up.
Just a straight up over Purdue.
Nice.
Those 3 wins. So thank you very much.
All right, 3 wins. All right. This is a win tonight, I think. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate the time, fellas. I want to shout out to Xaiver Green, Hayes running back. I want to shout out to Demetris, Gardner, Holmes, Connally running back for joining the show today. Zach Lucero, Paul Rodriguez. Paul, do your thing.
Shout out Gardner Minshew.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are loving the podcast, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below. And please, as always, turn on the notifications. We'll let you know when the podcast drop. Top down.